Good morning everyone. Welcome to Ojaswata IAS Academy. So we are trying to cover current affairs in the form of MCQs for helping you in the upcoming exam of UPSC Prelims 2020. So today we will discuss the MCQs of 9th May. You can also join us on our Telegram channel where we upload all these PPTs and you can do multiple revision of it. So let's see what are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's MCQs. So here are the 10 topics. These topics we will discuss in this lecture, and please do take a pause when you see question on the screen, answer it first and then see the explanation part, and try to get at least 7 questions correct out of 10. You can also adjust the speed of the video where you feel comfortable. So work hard, be consistent, regularly watch our videos, and let's start our MCQs with question number 1. And question number 1 is, which of the following are included in India's foreign exchange reserve? So the correct option is, it is D, that is all of the above, means gold reserve, foreign currency assets, special drawing rights and reserves with IMF. So foreign exchange reserves are assets held on reserve by a central bank. In case of India, it is RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, in foreign currencies which can include bonds, treasury bills and other government securities. And India's foreign exchange reserve include gold reserve, foreign currency asset, special drawing rights and reserves with IMF. And the context is that India's forex reserves declined by 113 million US dollar due to fall in foreign currency assets. Now question number 2 is with reference to Open Budget Survey 2019. Statement first, OBS is an annual survey by International Budget Partnership. Second, OBS ranks countries on the level of budget transparency on the scale of 0 to 100. So your statement first is incorrect, second is correct. Option will be B, that is second only. And statement first is incorrect because Open Budget Survey is biennial survey of International Budget Partnership, not annual survey. That means it is being released after every 2 years and it is part of IBP's Open Budget Initiative that aims to promote public access to budget information and the adoption of accountable budget system. And the average global transparency score is 45 out of 100, which indicating the levels of publicly available budget information remain limited. And New Zealand tops the chart with a score of 87, and India has been placed at 53rd position with Union Budget Process having transparency score of 49 out of 100. So do remember the fact that Open Budget Survey is released by International Budget Partnership. Now question number 3 is with reference to Karevas. I hope you can answer it correctly. Statement first, Karevas are elevated tablelands consisting of volcanic deposits. Second, they are composed of sand, silt, clay and significant for agricultural and horticultural practices. So here statement first is incorrect, second is correct, so option will be again B, that is second only. So here is the map is given, and the term Kareva is derived from the Kashmiri dialect which means elevated tableland, and it refers to an unconsolidated to semi-consolidated sand clay conglomerate sequences where Karevas are lacustrine deposit, which means along the shore of lakes, not the volcanic deposits, and that's why statement first was incorrect. And the sediments kept coming in through rivers and deposit around the lake, thus resulting in the formation of a lacustrine plain. And these lies between Pir Panjal range and Great Himalayas range in northwest India. And it is extremely important for agriculture and horticulture practices in the valley and help in the cultivation of saffron, almonds, walnuts and orchard. And recently Kashmiri saffron was also in news. We have covered that topic. Now question number 4 is, Kisan Sabha application recently news has been launched by which of the following? So the correct answer is CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Option will be B. So the aim of this application is to provide the most economical and timely logistics support to the farmers and increase their profits by minimizing interference of middlemen and directly connecting with the institutional buyers, and it connects the farmers, transporters, service providers, mandi dealers, customers and other related entities, and it will also help in providing best market rates of crops by comparing nearest mandis. Now question number 5 is BCG vaccine is primarily used against which of the following disease? So the correct answer is tuberculosis. Option will be B. So this vaccine is primarily used against TB, and in countries where tuberculosis or leprosy is common, one dose is recommended in healthy babies as close to the time of birth as possible, and this vaccine amplifies a powerful immune response, and BCG dose has shown a significant degree of protection against leprosy and non-invasive bladder cancer. And context is that a recent study had found an association between countries that have a universal BCG vaccination and reduced coronavirus cases and even deaths. However, WHO has raised concern over the study and use of BCG vaccine for COVID-19 as it has not been verified yet. So it is in news with the context of COVID-19 cases. Now question number 6 is recently liquor sale has been allowed in certain zones. Statement first, liquor is outside the purview of the GST. Second, liquor contributes a considerable amount to exchequers of all states and UTs. Third, generally states levy excise duty on the manufacturing and sale of liquor. Fourth, DPSP has provision of prohibition on liquor sale. So here the incorrect statement is statement second. So option will be B. And statement second is incorrect because liquor contributes a considerable amount to exchequers of all states and UTs except Gujarat and Bihar, which have prohibited its sale. And Article 43 Clause C of Indian Constitution directs legislatures and government in power to ban the sale of alcohol and illegal drugs under DPSP. But the problem is that DPSP, although the part of constitution, but are not legally enforceable by citizens like the fundamental rights. And the manufacturing and sale of liquor is one of the important sources of revenue for state, where state excise duties on liquor is the second and third biggest contributor to states on tax revenue after the sales tax, which is now GST, and this is the reason the state had always wanted to keep liquor out of the purview of GST. Now question number 7 is recently UV blaster was in news. So consider the following statement. First, it is a UV based area sanitizer. Second, it will help in the chemical free and rapid disinfection of high infection prone areas. Third, it has been developed by ISRO. So we have to find out incorrect statement, and here the incorrect statement is statement third. Option will be C. And statement third is incorrect because it is being developed by DRDO, not ISRO. Here is the image is given, and it is also designed and developed by Laser Science and Technology Center, which is Delhi based premier laboratory of DRDO, and it can easily be used by the remote operation through a mobile phone or laptop using Wi-Fi link, and the sanitizer will switch off if there is a human intervention or an accidental opening of the room. So do remember it. Now question number 8 is recently Directorate of Revenue Intelligence was in news. Statement first, it is India's chief anti-smuggling intelligence investigations and operations agency. Second, it is working under the Central Board of Direct Taxes and Customs under Ministry of Finance, Government of India. So both the given statements are correct. Option will be C. and DRI, that is Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, enforces the provisions of the Customs Act 1962 and over 50 other allied acts, which includes Arms Act, Wildlife Act, etc. And DRI undertake collection, analysis and dissemination of intelligence related to smuggling, carries out investigation, adjudication of cases and prosecution of the arrested persons. And ever since its inception in 1957, DRI has discharged its responsibility with commitment and professionalism and has made a significant contribution in safeguarding India's interest at home and abroad and in ensuring national security. Now question number 9 is, which of the following activity or activities are allowed in containment zone? So the correct answer is, it is C, that is movement of essential goods. And C is correct because travel by air, rail, metro and interstate movement by road, running of schools, colleges and other education and training and coaching institutions, hospitality services including hotels and restaurants are prohibited irrespective of zone. And if we talk about containment zone, these are the zones where someone is found positive for COVID-19 and such area is considered containment and sealed off. And these areas can be found out in red or orange zone. So the resident of area which is containment zone are asked not to step out of their home, and Health Ministry has said even a single case of coronavirus can be a hotspot for the government, and districts will be defined as red zone or hotspot district by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Now question number 10 is, Makassar Strait separates island of which of the following country? So the correct answer is, it separates islands of Indonesia. So here is the map is given. You can see this is a strait between islands of Borneo and Sulawesi in Indonesia, and north it joins the Celebes Sea, while in south it meets with Java Sea. So that's all in our today's MCQs. Hope you guys are liking the lecture, and if you want to contact us, these are the details. And one last question for you is that, is CBI a statutory body or not, or under which ministry it comes? So you have to answer this question in the comment section. And if you want to contact us regarding UPPSC examination and its test series, you can do it. So stay safe, stay healthy, have a nice day and thank you.